Toastmaster. There you are. Hello, Toastmasters and meeting guests. No. Yes, well. So, about a year ago, on a very nice and sunny day, I arrived in Auckland after a very long flight from Germany with an open mind and excited family and 8 suitcases. This time, I wasn't arriving as a tourist, as I have many times before, as a resident. Here to start a new life on the other side of the world. That moment was years in the making, and it all began with a decision to trust my gut and give it a go. My connection to New Zealand started many years earlier. In 1999, I came here as an exchange student. I picked New Zealand because somebody told me sailing would be a school subject, and for someone like me, a teenager with saltwater running through his veins, that sounded like paradise. Well, it turns out that wasn't exactly the truth, but I did get to do a lot of sailing and really enjoyed my time on the water here, and that experience really planted the seed to maybe one day return to New Zealand. While I was here, I also did something I never thought I would. After much deliberation, I tied a rope around my ankles and jumped off a bridge near Queenstown. And the moment I jumped, my head was just screaming, I did it, I did it! I felt completely, it was a completely new feeling for me. And only later I realized that this was the beginning of something that will repeat in my life. To make a decision, take the leap, and then see what happens next. And years later, somewhere in Nepal, I took a quieter leap. I went and participated in a 10-day silent meditation retreat. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I was signing up. And it turns out the only one talking during that retreat was my back after all that sitting. But that's when I learned that once you commit, you break the whole journey down into small steps. And you do that in a jump, breath by breath, and in a wellness, not wellness retreat, a meditation retreat, take it session by session, and in international move, you take step by step. It was not long after that, on a plane, after a grueling work week, the sun set somewhere between Paris and Munich. I was looking out of the window, asking myself, what am I doing? Why am I not in New Zealand? And that moment reignited that seed that I told you before earlier. My wife and I had talked about moving internationally before, but never really seriously. And now that conversation turned serious. We made lists, weighed every angle, but in the end we realized no list is gonna ever be good enough and fully prepare us to make a decision. So at some point we stopped analyzing and simply said, yes, we're gonna do it. And once we said yes and set the wheels in motion, we took it step by step. Making the move to New Zealand wasn't easy. The years of planning and the months before the flight were some of the most stressful of my life. Selling my house, quitting my job, saying goodbye to friends and family, bureaucracy on both ends, and visa stress. So when we finally arrived, the first weeks were full of excitement. Everything was new, everything was fresh. But once the adrenaline wore off, the exhaustion caught up with me. Only then did I realize how much this whole move had taken out of me. So I had to recharge. No deadlines, no list, no bureaucracy. Just letting my mind and body recover. And then slowly, energy came back. And since then, we've been settling in as a family. We've unpacked no less than 230 boxes that arrived in the container. And before you ask, it's after throwing out a lot of stuff. So, go figure. And I'm just so happy to be here. New Zealand keeps giving me pinch me moments. It's the air, it's the landscape, it's the sea, and it's of course the people. And living here has recharged me to keep trying new things, training for a marathon, starting a business, and joining Toastmasters. When I told my kids, they asked, so are you becoming a master at making toast? And so for me, it's just the natural step. making a decision, practicing, and improving myself. The Boeing 747 pilot once told me something interesting. The plane comes into land just before touching down 50 feet above the runway. A voice comes on from the computer. And it's a serious voice, but it's a calm voice, and it says, decide. And that's the moment when the pilot has to decide, do we go through with the landing, or are we going to go wrong because it's not going to be a stable landing? In my view, life is a little bit like that. You gather all the information that you can, but sometimes you get to a point where you have to make a decision. And then that little voice in your head, decide, makes you take one route or another. And whichever you take, you make it bold and you move on. So about a year ago, I arrived here as a resident, not as a tourist, ready to begin a new life. And today I'm grateful to call New Zealand home. And if there's one lesson I've learned, it's this: some things in life can be analyzed forever, but if it feels right, decide, do it, and then take it.